Let me tell you about something that I saw on a very cold, dry November night in 1976. My family and I moved into a new house upon a hill on a little back road in the very small town of Fort Gay, West Virginia. Now, Fort Gay sits right on the east side of Kentucky. The population of my town then was probably just a couple of thousand. Well, my family and I were still unpacking, and we'd not yet put the furniture in place, and everything was still in boxes. Overwhelmed with working all day, I went to bed around 11 o'clock. I put my little brother on the couch, and I took his bed, since my bed wasn't put together yet. His room faces the front of the house, and his window is around 20 to 25 feet or so off the ground. I was looking out the window when I saw it. It stood about 7 feet tall. I had no fucking idea what it was, but I was frozen. I'd never been that scared in all of my life. All I could do was lay there and just stare at this thing. It was sitting in a tree about 50 feet or so off the ground, about 50 feet from the house across the yard. It felt like an eternity. I couldn't breathe. Hell, I couldn't even blink. This damn thing had big, red, bright, glowing eyes looking dead into my face. I finally worked up enough courage to close my eyes and put my head under the covers, when all of a sudden, this thing smacked the window. I jumped up and running through the house screaming, "There's something outside!" I was crying. My mom and dad looked at me and said, "What's wrong with you? It looks like you've seen a ghost." And my face was flushed. And I said, "I don't know what it was, but please, Dad, don't go outside." I begged and I begged, but he did. After a few minutes, he came back in and said there was nothing out there. But I kept screaming, saying, "Yes, there is. Yes, there is." Now, when I explained to them what I saw and how I felt, they said I was crazy. But to this day, I have a hard time going outside by myself. And even in the daytime, I still like it when somebody's around just to watch and see if I'm safely into my car. I've heard some pretty scary, crazy things going on up on that road, but I never expected to experience anything myself. You know, it's strange. My wife and I went to the theaters and saw Mothman Prophecies. I started reliving that night all over again. When I realized that the movie was based on the John Keel book, I bought a copy and found that the actual story was even more terrifying than the film. The way the book described the reactions and feelings after seeing the creature mirrored my own. My wife asked me, "Isn't that what you described to me when we first started dating?" I couldn't say a word. After that, I knew exactly what I'd seen. I believe in all heart of hearts, I saw Mothman. Weird doesn't even begin to describe it. I should tell you this. We only live about 80 miles south of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where it all took place originally back in the 60s. Even scarier, I realized that my sighting took place on the exact same day 10 years after the first documented sighting of the Mothman in 1966. The exact same day.